what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
AI. Absolute Ignorance. With Jon Reep.
Yes, that's me, and I'm not alone. I'm joined, as always, by the Alan Jackson and my young, not hasty, just Gen Z whiz kid, Coble Hartman, and zooming in for the first time ever in our VR world is my good friend, hilarious guy, John Heffron. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, and you guys look. I wish I could see more of you instead of the screen, but you guys look beautiful. I like the VR or not VR. That's just who you are as people, and I think we're gonna get closer and closer to exactly what you look like. Like, why would you? Like, why would you ever, now doing what you're doing, you're meeting, you have two friends just sitting across the table from you, John. And, you know, Alan got goop, he put it in his hair, he slicked his hair back, he dyed his beard gray, so he got a little ready for the night. But why would you ever have to meet a real person again?
No,
you can
exactly.
have the same, like John, if I hardly ever get to see you, but if I was to say, dude, go make tater tots and bagel bites, and you go make that, and then I make the same thing, and then we're doing this, eating the same food, we're having the same exact experience we would if we were across from each other.
Right. No, I'm down. The only thing is I forgot what I look like, and I looking at Alan, he does look like a younger version of the most interesting man in the world.
He does. He looks like the guy who'd have like a bit part on the Facts of Life, and like all the girls liked him.
No, he looks like the like a good friend of the dad from Family Ties.
Oh yeah.
Like he's a professor friend of the dad, Michael J. Fox's dad.
And he drives a motorcycle, and he's this kind of, when he's not teaching, he just travels around the country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's always eating an apple.
I mean, that's
cutting an apple.
You always eat it.
That's the vibe I was shooting for sure. So
I wish there was a mirror in this room so I could look at myself, because I forgot what I look like.
You look like a lumberjack. Is what
but I forgot if my hair is long or if it's short.
No, it's short, and you got a nice puffy beard. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, John, and you are the only person in this room that's actual real time, sort of like, I don't know what you say. That's a real video of John Heffron, where we are avatars, and we like to talk about artificial intelligence and its implications on our lives, the world in general, and all that jazz. That's this show, AI, Absolute Ignorance, with me, Jon Reep. And last week, do we want to recap last week or just jump into this week, guys?
What did we do last week?
We talked about quantum computers for the entire episode.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
Oh my God,
and Superman 3.
Superman 3 with Richard Pryor with the supercomputer that could do anything. Yep. John Heffron, you've seen Superman 3.
Yes, but I do have a question though, and this is the old guy question. I'm seeing a huge screen and little of you, like a little tiny thing. Is that what everyone else is seeing?
Well, there is.
I would get rid of this. I would get rid of this screen until you want to talk about it.
Are you seeing the Sports Illustrated delete?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Let me take that
for us.
off.
That's just like a TV on the wall for us.
Yeah. Right.
How about now?
Oh, Gaia. Okay, that's good. I like that.
How's it look?
So if I Superman 3, that's the one with Richard Pryor taking the half a cent off of the checks, right?
Yes.
And making all that money?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one.
He was
That's
a computer.
Not Neil Before Zod. Yeah.
No, Neil Before Zod was number 2. He was a computer programmer, and he learned how to swindle money from a gigantic corporation. And then the rich guy finds out, brings him in, and says, "You're a genius. I want you to work for me. We got to bring down Superman." And he goes, "Well, if I could just figure out what is in kryptonite, we can just make our own kryptonite." And he pretty much recreates kryptonite, except for 10% is unknown.
He almost knows it.
he almost nails it. He's got 90% kryptonite, and he's like looking around. Well, what the hell can I put in this other 10%? Picks up a pack of cigarettes and notices the word tar. And he's like, well, hell, I'll just put tar in there. And so he made kryptonite with tar in it, and then Superman, instead of it making him weak, it just turns him into a douchebag.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he starts doing mean things, like he goes to the Olympics and blows out the torch that the guy's about to light at the ceremony.
I remember that. Yeah.
He goes into a bar and just starts flicking peanuts and just starts.
Yeah, he goes to the Olympics and identifies as a human. And wins everything.
Wins all the race. Right, gets all the gold medals.
Not an alien here, guys. Oh,
he just melts them with his eyes. But no, yeah, so he turns into a douchebag. But here's the thing. In that movie, the reason why I brought it up last week was because the supercomputer that is made, designed by Richard Pryor, paid for by the ultra-rich guy, was supposed to do anything that you want it to do. And we're almost there, according to a piece that we saw in 60 Minutes last week. Did you see or happen to hear anything about what we're talking about, John?
No, because I'm busy trying to make AI and everything do anything I wanted to do. So I'm not branded out to the world yet.
Right.
I'm using it for very specific. But here's what I love so far. It looks like Cobie, just from my point of view, is just why John is talking with Cobie's glasses. He's always just kind of giving your rear end a check. He's always kind of let your ass. And then Alan, it looked like, with your hands, it look. I'm keeping it family friendly, but let's say there's a person in front of you. And you wanted to give him a little get along, little doggy. You know, you wanted to, yeah. So
hands on the table.
Maybe you guys should do because my chairs or whatever those chairs. You see those chairs on the side of the road all the time. Yeah, right.
Like totally. The most uncomfortable chairs ever made.
Yeah. You guys should. Do you have an option to maybe next time do this in a hot tub, where everybody is just in the hot tub?
That would be good.
And
that'd be pretty cool.
And it's just like hot tub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like
it.
That
way when Coble's watching John's butt, it would be a little more obvious.
And it's better in context that way. Yeah.
Right, it is. It makes more sense. Yeah.
What is that bubbling up? Oh, John, say John Happy over here. And behind you, John,
Reep, you look. Yeah. No, but I know you guys have seen this before, but you Reep, you look like, because it's out now, the Santa Claus is coming to town. When he just I think he was to Meister Burger's place first, and he kind of has that younger Santa look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's well documented that Santa was a ginger before his hair turned white. So, yes, this is
common knowledge.
You're Santa Claus year one, basically.
Right.
That's
exactly.
And Alan, and then I'll stop talking to you guys. Every time I look at Alan's, I just think he co-wrote songs with Richard Marx.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just catch you up to speed, John. I mean, what we did talk about briefly was how that there is a supercomputer, much like the one in Superman 3, that is being built right now by IBM and possibly China,
Google.
Google that can do right now. Computers run on transistors pretty much, and they work digital, like it's ones and zeros, right?
Yeah.
But now they're getting ready to run off of a different sort of platform or way of doing things, where it instead of doing ones and zeros, it does like 4 or 5 at once.
It's
Coble?
qubits. It's
Qubits.
Which is how many more than 2? 3, 4, 5?
So it's hard to say because it's electrons. It's not really ones and zeros now. It's particles you can't see.
Yes, this is where my head.
So now
explodes.
with chat and AI now, I mean, we can almost do just like Matthew Broderick in war games, right? If you were just to type, "Do you want to play a game of chess?" and then it says, "Sure," we can go, "No, how about global nuclear war?" Are we at
Wait,
that level yet?
Is that where you play games with Uma Thurman?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I can't. You know, there's words I can't say. That and mesothelioma. You know, man.
Global thermal nuclear war. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We were thinking now that no password will be safe ever.
Yeah, because a quantum computer can do every combination at once.
Instead of doing
have you seen that?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Have you seen the stuff where people are saying that us as humans, you should get what is called meat passwords? That you don't, it's not on your computer. You look at your children, your wife, your grand, and you have a password because so many people are calling with scams saying, hey, we've just kidnapped your grandkid, give us the money, and you hear the girl's voice, and people are sending money to these horrible people that do that. But if you have a meat password, you can ask that person, what's the thing, and you'll be able to tell if it, I wouldn't ask AI, create 5 meat passwords. Don't even bring it up. But just like, it's almost like a safe word for people, so you know you're talking to a real person.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's a good
my
idea.
my parents did that a long time ago when we were kids because there were a lot of when kidnapping was new. You know, kidnapping's only been around since the 80s. Yeah,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
it really
it's-
just started then. Yeah.
yeah. At the highlight, the very beginning of the kidnapping era. My parents came up with a password that would say, like, if anyone ever says they've come to pick you up at school or come to take you somewhere or grab you, make sure they say this word. If they don't say that word, don't go with them. And we memorized it. I still know that word to this day.
Well, I mean, you
We
can
did-
tell
we
us
did
the
the same
word,
thing.
right?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
You're not gonna-
Don't say
all
it.
right. All right.
Yeah.
Just keep reusing it.
I have.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm worried, is because I've used it on and off again as passwords for things.
No, you can't.
Oh,
you got to
yeah.
think of something that
So the
It has to be
meat-
verbal
one-
only.
The meat word has to be
Yeah.
different than the password.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Can't
it's
be
something
stored anywhere.
that.
Yeah.
You got to like go outside, write it on a piece of paper, show it to the other person, and burn it before a drone sees it. And don't use your iPad to email it. It's got to be, because it's all
Yeah.
going to kill us.
I would not recommend for John, your family, to use words like mesothelioma or global thermonuclear war.
Yeah. Or if they do and I say it perfectly, they were like, "That's not John."
This is AI. Yeah.
Say a
Yeah.
full sentence. I want to see if you mumble one word, and if it doesn't, then
So, John, you're zooming in from your house in Michigan right now?
yes. And I have a gift, and it's all messy, so I had to do this 1997 blur the back. Doesn't this technology where you get rid of your backdrop, doesn't this seem like it's from the 80s? It was like during COVID that this existed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and
it's already
now
outdated.
this seems...
Yeah.
This already seems like I'm dialing up on some Commodore 64. Like, I'm embarrassed to have this as my backdrop. I just don't have a cool avatars yet.
Yeah, we're sitting
you know?
in 3D space, and you're blurring your background.
Right.
I mean, look at it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I can take in water, go to the bathroom. You guys cannot. So
That's true.
at the
I
end-
actually tried to
there-
drink something before this, and it ended terribly, and I had to clean it up because I was wearing the headset. It was not a good idea.
So how long? I know I'm interrupting you guys a lot, but I've been alone in this farm, so I haven't talked to anybody. How long do you think? Because I think when I got a virtual headset before I busted it right during COVID, I was like, people aren't going to need homes. They're just going to need like 4 walls, and it can be brick, something to sit on, something to lay down on, and then like a refrigerator. But then you flip on your goggles, and you're living wherever you want to live, right? So how long until there's just pods where you can go in, and then you can go to the bathroom? You can, do everything where you're just watching it. It's going to be like that Ready, Set, Go, right? In our lifetime.
Oh, Ready Player
Yeah.
One? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I say 7 years.
Mhm.
I think
7.
5 to
So
7
by the
years
time,
we got
though-
pods. Yeah.
So for us, I mean, for the younger people, they'll experience it differently. So our seniorness, when we're in our 70s and 80s, if we're all lucky enough to make it in there, is going to be a different experience than those are 70s and 80s now. Because Joe,
yeah.
like, we can all meet in our 80s. We can all meet with these avatars, and we're still feel that.
Wow. Hey, John,
Right?
that was an episode of Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys ever watched that
I've
on
never.
Netflix.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. So every episode's a little bit different, but it's all sort of science, technology, futuristic, a lot of weird things that could happen.
Mhm.
I guess you would say it's almost like your modern day Alfred Hitchcock,
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah, but way,
Yeah.
way, way, way more modern day. Even long story short,
Yeah.
these people fall in love um, in this sort of cyber virtual world, and they've never met outside of it. But the only way they can do this forever is if their real bodies, if they choose to either keep it alive with this thing or go ahead and die. And so their real bodies have to, when they're outside of that world, they have to make the decision. Well, if I don't say yes to this contract, which this company gets to have my likeness and thing forever, then I can't be with the person that I met in this cyber world forever. It's this weird futuristic thing. Check it out; it's a good episode. But I think, to your point too, like it'll be like storage units. Now
Yeah.
you drive past a big storage center, and you can get big ones, you can get small ones. People are just going to need to buy their pod or their space, and you can go there, and it'll be way better than just the goggles. It'll be like probably a whole helmet that you put on and connects to your taste buds, your nose, your sense of smell, like all of your senses.
I saw they had virtual reality. I was watching it. Something that blew air. It was like a square box, and it blew air. And whatever you're reaching for in cyber world, it would like almost do a printing of a coffee mug or of a bowling ball. And when you stick your hand there, you feel the weight, and you can feel like you're holding a cup. The wind, the air does something. So it almost feels, it does a model of the exact same thing. We all know what this is going to be used for, but in this instant, this is just a cup. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
So,
Yeah.
but the machine learning. So I'm fascinated with that.
Coble.
I've been trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So
been
did we
trying
talk
to do
about that yet, or was that before the show?
No, yeah, we haven't talked about that.
Okay,
But
so
here, John, here's what I did with mine. And I'm telling you not to. This is where AI. I made a little app where I put in how much I'm making at a comedy club, and then it spits out what John gets, and I have all the factors of what's not, and it's horrible.
yeah.
It's
After
it's when you see
after you pay your commissions,
Agents,
after you pay your
managers,
taxes, after
parking.
all of it.
Parking, and then I had how many days gone from home, and then I rated that. Then it'll give me a 1 through 5 score of this, if this is a good date or not. So sometimes you can make more money doing a crappy date, but you're only a half hour from home.
Right.
Where we always think, well, no, I want a couple extra $1,000, but by the time you leave, gone for 3 hours, then you have a half hour argument with your wife. There's value in that. That's money that you should charge for that. So then it just goes, no, I'm gonna go work at Arby's. Actually, make more.
Do you have this breakdown, this app, or whatever it is you've come up with? We call it your Bible or whatever. Can I see this? Is this something that I could? You're telling me not to do it, but
share
now
it
I
with
want
you.
to. Do
Yeah,
it.
could we call it?
Okay,
and,
so
Yeah. Can other
so,
people use it?
Watch this. So just give me. I'm gonna make up. I'm gonna make up
some
a thing.
stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's say the Chuckle Hut, and I'm making 3,500. Okay.
All right.
Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Ready? Hold on. I'm making 3,500 at the Chuckle Hut.
John has his phone.
Great. Let's calculate your earnings from the Chuckle Hut show.
Two.
Starting with your gross income of $3,500, we'll deduct the fixed percentages. 1, management fee 15%. 2, agent fee 10%. Michigan taxes 4.5%. 4, federal taxes 28%. After these deductions, we'll see what your net income is. First, let's calculate each deduction. Management fee, 15 per 3,500 is $20. Agent fee, 10% of 3,500 is $350. Michigan taxes, 4.5% of $3,500 is $157.50. Federal taxes, 28% of $3,500 is $980. Now let's add up these deductions. $525 in this mandatory for 50 agent plus $157.50 in Michigan tax plus $980 federal tax equals $2,012.50. So from your $3,500 gross income, after deducting $2,012.50, your net income from the Chuckle Hut show is $1,487.50.
Then I killed myself.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't have the patience for that. I'd just make it tell me the final the final take home.
Well, that wasn't.
Yeah, well,
that was
I
not
did it
including.
'cause-
That was not including travel or.
Yeah, well, I asked it on the version where you can just speak it now because I'm
Yeah.
too lazy to even type my question now. So I used to have it to have the smart ass kid, but it gives me, you guys can't see it because it's blurred, but it gives me a breakdown, just on paper, and then did ask me what's my travel, and all in parking, and all that. So you got to figure. Yeah, you deduct $5. So it's literally like $1,000, dude. So that's why Arby's or making, an Etsy page or, faceless YouTube page.
Yeah.
Which none of us need to start. But anyway.
Right. Yeah, that is depressing.
I think it's pretty cool though. So yeah.
It's pretty cool, the technology. Now, is that something that I can use? Like, is it an app that I could download, or how do I get my hands on this technology?
Well, if you have chat and you have that app, or you go online, there's a thing called make your own bot, and it's, if I did it, you can just put in whatever you want.
So
it'll figure out.
you used AI to create this bot?
Yeah. And just named it, but I can share it with people, and people are making those type of things and then selling them if they're kind of cool. Mine's not cool enough. Mine's basically a calculator, but it's just kind of interesting.
Are you still working on creating a bot that can act as your agent on your website?
That's what I'm trying. That's why when you were talking about machine learning, it's a little, they're just getting better and better. Like, I keep working on it, but I'm just going to wait for someone just to do it, and then
just use it that way. So,
Coble,
is that something that you are learning in your class at Berkeley?
That actually gave me a great idea, because even just one night of classes, I've already written machine learning algorithms, and so what I'd probably do is I would make one, and I'd give it data filled with like negotiator techniques, or like just all this stuff, how to communicate. And then I would probably link it with an API to ChatGPT. So if someone like called you, like you talked about this, John Heffron, the first time you called in, how an ideal world, someone would call you, and then your bot would kind of intercept it and be like, hey, and kind of negotiate for you. So I think that's super doable. With like, you can link it to ChatGPT after you train a model, and then make it talk for you with the ChatGPT voice.
And you know more than me, but what I learned from people that I keep watching is the more you talk to your model, the more it learns. So it'll say, hey, will you do it for $400? You literally go, that's crazy. I'm not leaving my house for what you would, like John, like, would you drive to Asheville versus flying to Atlanta? But it also wants to know why. Like why is that? Why is going to Asheville different than going to Atlanta, where you can explain it? Because then I have to get on a plane, get an Uber, go to a hotel, and then it starts using all of that in negotiation, going, hey, that's great. I'm in Colorado, but he's going to have to get on a plane, so we're going to need airfare. We need ground pickup, and the bot eventually learns all that.
Yeah.
No,
that's actually super easy. Actually, like with these machine learning algorithms, that even just like the stuff I'm learning to make is like, I could probably make that for you. That's super, it's super easy. It's crazy.
Okay,
well, get on it.
Done.
One of y'all get on that, because John and I, we have the same agents now, but we could maybe both of us at the same time could drop them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have AI write that letter.
Explaining why you don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
And then but like, so how many has anyone broken up? Probably it's already happened. Broken up through AI yet?
Oh, I'm sure.
Could you,
I'm sure.
could you transfer it? Like, if you're getting in an argument with your partner, your spouse, it'd be cool if you could transfer that text argument to AI, and then AI through Freud's, marriage counselors, whatever, can then respond with the biggest ROI to that response. You know what I mean? Like, so if somebody goes, "You're gaslighting me," then it goes, "Well, I know it feels like I'm gaslighting you, but I want," and you just pass it over. You're like, "I'm out."
Yeah, that would make the person probably fall in love with you again, because it would be so well written and so not you. But
you would have to do that from the beginning, though, because if you're halfway through your relationship, you start responding like a marriage counselor. There's it could be a little suspicious.
Right, yeah, no, but I'm sure that's been done. I've used AI to write a Christmas card that I'm sending to Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
I mean, I wanted to have some of my barbecue sauce, and so I wanted to make sure that it had, just a generic Merry Christmas greeting from Jon Reep to Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, and here's some of my barbecue sauce. Make it short and sweet. And I didn't write it word for word, but I used some of the things that it wrote, and I physically wrote it on the card in my handwriting. But I've used it for that. But yeah, I bet you people have broken up with AI. I bet you that has happened.
Well, that just also goes to show you, now you're never, because I've heard audio AI. So if you call AT&T or anyone you call, you're never talking to a real person again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even people who at your haircut place, normally Marge answers the phone and Sarah working today. Like you get that, but you're just going to get straight AI, which is fine.
What is more frustrating for you, John, if you call up a 1-800 number? Is it more frustrating for you to talk to a chatbot or AI, or talk to someone in another country whose first language is not English and it's a thick accent, and you really are having a hard time communicating with this person?
Yeah,
which is more frustrating.
If they call me Mr. John, I'm immediately would rather be in the just where you're hitting numbers on your phone.
Yeah,
I know it's going to be a thing.
Yeah,
So I just while you guys were talking, I just had ChatGPT write a breakup script for breaking up with somebody, and I fed some information. I said, my girlfriend spends a lot of money on things I don't like for her to be spending on. She spends more time with her girlfriends and doesn't pay attention to me. And she's also jealous whenever I go on work travels, thinking that I'm going to cheat on her. So now ChatGPT has written an entire script, a dialogue, actually. It's got my voice and it has her responses, hypothetical responses.
Oh, wow.
So that I can actually dialogue breaking up with a girlfriend situation. So,
hey, Alec, can you put that on the whiteboard up here?
I can.
And then, John, you want to reenact it? Like, you can read one, and I could be the girl, and you could be the guy, or whatever. Oh, wow. Can you see that, John?
Yeah, I can.
All right, All right, John, break up with John.
I can.
All right,
which one am I?
So which one?
Now, disclaimer, ChatGPT did tell me, said, hey, look, crafting a script for a breakup conversation is a delicate task, especially considering the sensitive reasons you've mentioned. It's important to approach the conversation with respect, empathy, and clarity, guys. So that's important. Okay.
So let's do.
Okay, I'll just do the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be the. So where it says her name, I am her name, and
yeah. So Heffron, you're breaking up with Reep then.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? You guys can't hear music, right?
Yeah, we can.
Never can.
Yeah, I heard something.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah,
I heard a little bit of it in the background. Yeah.
You hear this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Roni. Okay, hold on. Hey, Roni. I've been thinking a lot lately. I feel it's important for us to have an honest conversation about our relationship. There's something I need to share with you.
What's going on?
Well, listen, I want to start by saying that I really, truly care about you and respect you. This makes what I have to say even a little bit harder. I've been feeling disconnected in our relationship, and it's been weighing on me. It's about our trust and how we spend our time together.
What do you mean?
Well, when I'm traveling as a shower curtain salesman, I just get a lot of sense of jealousy and mistrust from you. It's important for me to have your trust, especially in this long distance situation. And when I'm back, I feel like you're not making the most of our time together. I often feel neglected, and as you spend more time out with your friends going line dancing and bull riding.
But I need my friends in the bull riding too.
Listen, absolutely. I respect that. It's just that the balance seems off. Also, I've been concerned about our financial habits, particularly the spending on antiques, salon visits, arcade games.
Whoa. Are you
causing me
saying
a little stress?
You love antiquing? Are you saying I spend too much?
It's not about the amount of money that we're, whatever, aligning our properties and our future goal. It's tough for me to bring this up, but I believe it's just being transparent.
I'm not getting it. Well, so what are you trying to say?
After a lot of thought, I've come to the conclusion that our past needs to be diverted. It's not easy for me, but I think it might be best for us to part ways. And I want us both in a relationship where we feel trusted, valued, and aligned in our goals. And I think a lot of the guys on my softball, Henry on the softball team, he's a pitcher. I've just grown to feel like there's something there.
Henry, are you breaking up with me? What's going on?
Listen, I think it's. Listen, I want you to listen. I think it's the healthiest process. I have a lot of respect for you, and I want you to be amicable as possible. I'm here to talk about how we can move forward effectively. But right now, I need to go. So
I'm gonna go kill myself.
Here's another way you do that. Wait, watch this. So I learned this trick. Okay. So okay, watch, wait. Write a letter for me breaking up with a podcast partner, but first ask me 5. No, stop. So okay, hold on. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Write a letter for me breaking up with a podcast partner, but first ask me 3 questions that will help you write the letter.
Ooh.
Huh.
That's good.
Make it do the thinking.
That's interesting.
Absolutely. I can help with that. To make sure the letter is appropriate and considerate, I'd like to know a few things. 1, what are the main reasons for the breakup with your podcast partner? 3, is there a specific tone you'd like the letter to have, such as formal, empathetic, or straightforward?
Tone.
I'm breaking up with him because he's stolen millions of dollars. Tone can be lighthearted.
That's great.
Given the seriousness of the situation, but your preference for a lighthearted tone, I'll draft a letter that balances these elements. Here's a draft for your letter.
Oh, this is great.
Dear podcast partner's name, I hope this letter finds you in good spirits and perhaps surrounded by a few less dollar bills than usual. Podcast journey. Been quite a ride, hasn't it? From our first episode, where we barely knew how to record, to now, where you've seemingly mastered the art of making money disappear. Quite a ride. I've enjoyed our time together. It seems we've arrived at a crossroads.
Anyway,
that's great.
That was like the most passive aggressive way.
Yes, that is the perfect passive aggressive breakup. Wow.
But the little trick I learned from watching a YouTube video, like I was going to try to write fake news articles about me to spread fake news around the internet. And somebody said, you ask it, hey, write an article about me, but ask me 5 questions about my audience. And then you kind of say that. Then the whole article is kind of like mentally gearing the people reading to go, we like John Heffron because I said all the things in the article that they're
That's really
thinking
good.
about.
That's smart. I hadn't
So you make
seen
it gear
as
it.
a
That's
tactic.
really
Yeah,
clever.
yeah. That's great.
So
It's a little more work, but
do you have an example of that? Do you have an example of that you've done already, John?
It'll take me a second to find it, but yeah, so you guys can talk, and I have to go back.
Okay, all right.
That's the new thing. Remember when you look up people's like internet history? Now it's like, can I see your chat? Like, what did you what have you been asking chat?
Yeah.
See, this is my chat history.
I have poems.
Well,
Podcast
yours and mine, John, because you use this one. I did not have dinner plans with Jody. I'm just letting you know.
What did I write with dinner plans with Jody?
We wrote a song about in the voice of Steven Tyler about picking up.
We did that.
Yeah.
This was the first episode that John Heffron called in.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So I did. I have, I was using Hallmark movies, and I would just go, he's a ninja that got caught, and then it would crank out those stories. I got really big on poems, so I would just have it write these really cool poems, and then I'm trying to. And then my wife had a dress. Oh, I wish I could show you this. My wife had a dress in a dream. She's like, I dreamed about this pink dress, and it was like the 70s, but and I just recorded her saying what the dress was, and then I had Dolly, whatever it is, Dolly.e, start producing, and you can't tell because with my screen, but I started having it produce dresses that she was dreaming about, and we came really close. It's almost like you're a people who sketch artists for police departments.
That's interesting because I saw an article the other day actually about how they're using language models now to image dreams, and it's getting really good. Yeah, it's kind of freaky. Like,
so
imagine
will you just wake up and talk to this chat bot about your dream, and it makes an image?
No, it reads your brainwaves while you're dreaming and visualizes it.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, and then so imagine you can wake up and turn over to a screen and go play back, please, and it shows you your entire dream. I mean, it's not there yet, but or so far it's only like little snippets and like seconds worth. It's not like an entire dream, but it's getting pretty close.
No way.
I saw a video today, like not Pixa. I think Pixa is that the big video one that so far is really crushing it, and it started to come out. But your text to video on this thing is unbelievable. You can take you sitting in a chair, block out everything behind you and turn it into whatever you want. But the editing thing is now you don't even have to type. You have to say, stop video, play it backwards, enlarge. It's like that movie. That's Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Go add a shark to the water, and it just does it while you're editing. And you're not clipping anything. You're like, cut that part. Have a bite come in out of nowhere, and you're just verbally saying it because they did a whole thing how there's these Instagram influencers there's one that is making like 20 grand a month, and the whole thing's fake. She's not a real person. They put her in videos. She models clothes, does makeup tutorials, everything, and it's a dude that's showing you how to do it. I mean, it's not super easy. You have to do a couple. You got face swap, so it's literally it would take a while, but it's
Something similar happened at the Game Awards, the 2023 Game Awards. The content creator of the year was an AI like woman, and she won content creator of the year somehow. And they go to give her the award. They're like, "Oh, well, because she's an avatar, she couldn't be here today, but she sent us a message," and they played the message, but she won content creator of the year.
So
crazy.
So she's not a real person?
It's not a real person. It's just it's someone who her voice is real, but her whole avatar and her entire channel and everything is it's this AI recreation of this random character.
Yeah, I saw the fake lady giving yoga videos, and they just face swapped her. They took the face that you think and just start putting her out with friends, so you think how's that kids today? That would have been Milli Vanilli, those poor guys.
Mm-hmm.
At least they had to perform and fake it,
But
they were in the wrong time period. If they had been popular 20 years later, 30 years later, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
That one guy would probably still be alive. He probably wouldn't have had to, felt the need to kill himself. Yeah, and it would have went on and made more sake. It's funny. I did see a documentary not long ago about Milli Vanilli. And did you know that even after they got busted for lip syncing, right? The guy who produced that album went on to make another one anyway, thinking like, well, at least just off of curiosity alone, and some of these people will sell, probably 500,000. And it said they sold like 42.
42 total.
Yeah. And that's how pissed off people were when they found out.
Oh,
and
people were mad. I remember that. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really sad.
Now, John,
what happened to these guys?
Could you perform like this, John? I know, like Brian read, like if looking at your avatar, if they made it so there's bodies and you were just walking on stage. Because you're as clear, all of you guys. I'm the one with the dumb, horrible backdrop here. But could you perform like this? And you think like 40 people would show up to see it?
Here's what I would want. If for me to make this work, the avatar, the MetaQuest itself would have to be a little bit tighter on my face and a little bit more seamless. And as I'm talking, I lose all of you.
This happens. John Heffron, this happened from time to time with John. John will lose connection.
Is there some type of virtuality CPR you do?
I don't want
Is there trains?
He turns like this. He's like black. Yeah. Coble's trying to give him CPR right now.
Well, I don't know what happened, guys. So, John, that's the first thing I would do.
And he's back. Okay, good. Good job, Coble. You got him.
Can you hear me now?
I'm trained. I'm certified in VR CPR, actually.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Am I back in this thing or what?
Yeah, I had to give you CPR, but it's fine.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And Alan, I still love it. Every time I look at Alan, now I think you're a youth group pastor.
But to answer your question, John, first of all, that couldn't happen where I just, randomly disappear for no reason. So the heads have to be tighter. I would want to be able to see each person's face in the crowd. Like when I look out, I would want every person in the crowd having their own avatar created and ready to go, and being able to hear that person just like I'm hearing you individually, all of them at one time, as if it's like a real crowd. I'd like to be able to do that. So that way I can look over if someone's being loud over here, but hopefully that wouldn't happen. That you could do away with that problem. But if I wanted to go out and pick on some guy's avatar, I could do that, and everyone could see who I'm pointing at and who I'm talking to. I mean, that would be a
feedback.
fun.
Like you need to be able to hear them, and
So, Coble, could we not pull that off? Is there not? I'm sure there's some way.
Oh no, there already is.
If we invited like people online that have headsets to a comedy show, John, I think you should do a VR comedy show.
Well, there's this app actually called Rec Room. Have you heard of this app?
Oh yeah.
You can.
Yeah, I was in there once.
Yeah, you can go into, you can make like a comedy club, and you can make it private. You can put John on stage and invite anyone to come in and sit there.
And he would be able to see everybody's avatar out in the crowd.
Yeah, it wouldn't be their meta avatar, it'd be their Rec Room avatar, but they have to make an avatar. Yeah.
Yeah. So John,
I think we should do this. I'd be able to hear them and see them.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
That would probably only be like 30 people, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it more than like 30 or so people, but that would be cool though. We should do that and just see how that works.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to do like a full hour. I mean, do like a 15-minute.
John and I could do it. We could do it together. Yeah, you'll have an Oculus, hopefully.
Or we could even do. You could even do like an AI recording on stage and just have people come and sit in it.
And you just hit record, and it's just the AI doing your bit recorded. They're not going to know it's not live unless you say something.
Yeah. This might be a great why.
Uh-oh.
Wow! Hang on a minute.
I think he was just trying to cross his arm.
Yeah, he was. And then he did the the racist okay sign. So what's that a sign? What's going on? What group is it?
I had no idea that this was supposedly means white power as well. Did you know that? John had to get rid of a video or a picture of him doing this because he did this
on my
Last Comic Standing where he said, okay.
And
he had to take it out. He had to take that picture down because people. Did you know that this means white power? Of course not, because it's not fucking true.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But apparently someone made it up, and now that's a thing.
It's also the sign if you're like scuba diving and you want to say that your regulator's okay. You do the okay sign to let you know.
It means okay.
So
that's
you're
it.
Scuba diving. Yeah, now you're scuba diving with people. You go like that, and people are like racist. The guy's kind of racist underwater.
Yeah, so white supremacists took over our okay sign. So is that
okay, yeah.
Next you're going to tell me that like this means
Joe
sex or
Biden.
something like that.
What means
Man,
I missed
that
my
was
back was
hilarious.
turned to you.
I was going to say next though you're going to tell me
that's
this means sex. Like what?
No,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, all right, let me get back to my original brainstorm thought now, because I think this could help you too, John Heffron. All right?
Okay.
If once you get one of these, this could be a new way to try out new material without having to actually go on stage.
Oh yeah.
Like focus group it in VR.
Yeah,
Yes.
focus group it. Say, look, every, I don't know, every other Tuesday night, y'all meet me at 8:00 in the comedy club, and I'm going to try out some new bits as if I would do it on stage.
Or let's go back to couples therapy. Because I remember I went to a phase where I was buying all these websites, and then I tried to sell them, and I never was able to. So I grabbed AI therapy. I had therapy.ai. I had all this stuff. But you have in a room like this, what if you had couples counseling? Like, I think that would be more interesting to watch than stand-up. It'd be like Maury Povich or something. You have two couples in there. We can't see who they are, so they can use fake names. Then you can have a real therapist, and then the audience gets to vote who's right or wrong on the scenario.
Oh, jeez.
Like it's a real Maury Povich type show. Yeah.
We could do that.
Wait, but okay, but we're the hosts of it, so we got to be in here somehow. You know what I mean? Like, how do we take advantage of this? I'm not a counselor.
I think no, but you just get one. But I've seen like studio things like you're sitting in where it looks like everybody's standing up at like a Comic-Con panel, like behind a big table. There's a lot of different.
Yeah, there's different layouts we could have for our room here.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah. Well, I think both of these ideas are amazing.
I'm liking this a lot. Do you think people would be more, you think like on the counseling side, like a couples counseling, it'd be more open if they're actually avatars and not like real people? You know, like people are going to be more.
Are the couples?
Is my arm doing
Are
weird
they in the
things?
same?
Yeah, your
room
arm
with
is
each
way out here.
You're like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Stretching your arm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, dude.
So do we
You
think
look like,
being in
like
avatars will make people like be more open and?
Well,
we
there's
can
a lot of
actually do better
anonymity in
counseling?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
cool.
Well,
I think
you
so.
could do like a Dear Abby thing. So maybe it's not necessarily you're not confronting somebody, but you have a Dear Abby, like, dear, hey, I got a dad who I lent $40,000 to and hasn't paid me back. What's the best way? And then you have the counselor help, and then then the unicorn chimes off, and then the giraffe doesn't say anything because if your avatar is a giraffe, you're not allowed to talk.
Wait a second.
Then everybody.
Okay. Yes, and why don't we make this show a live show? Jon Reep, Absolute Ignorance with Jon Reep is now a live show within the metaverse, and we invite people to sit in and respond to our show. We come up with a plan, a show rundown, and we said we're going to talk about this. We'll take turns hosting it, whatever. We've done this before, John, and we do it in front of people that are right here, right now. I bet you if I went online to my Facebook page, I've got 330,000 people on my fan page. If I put out there, hey, who has a Meta Quest? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who has one of these? If so, put it on. Join me at this time in this room, and we just do a show like this.
Or just to see who'd be interested, you could say, if you have one and would join, let me know in the comments. Get some interaction going.
Yeah, let's figure out if we could even do this. I'll bet you out of the amount of people I have and how many John has on different things, we pull it all together, we could get maybe 50 people to join us one night. I mean, we plan it out a couple of weeks. Right?
There's so much you could do, and these are already are being done, so we're just doing it with our style. But dude, you want to make people not jump off roofs and stuff if their life sucks. We can have trivia. We can have 80s trivia that I think would be equally as fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, you're talking about
come
John.
up with some
John and John,
Just
you guys are
live
talking
shows.
about doing this as a live show
Yeah.
in the
Make-
VR space.
Right.
But I'm hearing it could be a comedy show. It could be this podcast. It could be counseling. It could be
Yeah.
Trivia.
trivia.
Right.
I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys are talking about doing stand up. I think that's one thing that I would like to try on my own.
I like the idea of building a virtual comedy club
With
and
the help
letting
of
you
you
guys
guys,
try out short bits. Try out some new stuff.
Yeah. We'll get a host.
It's like a virtual open mic night. On,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So that's one idea.
Okay.
Second idea,
I just thought of another one.
I think, is we do a podcast like this, whether
Okay.
it's this one or a different one or whatever. Maybe we just morph this into that. AI Absolute Ignorance with Jon Reep and John Heffron, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we do a show like this. John, you'll have one of these eventually, and then we do a podcast about absolute ignorance, about artificial intelligence, about our lives, and we make it we do it in front of people, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end. We'll do like, all right, so we're done with our show. Hope you like that. Any questions? And then people can raise their hands and do whatever. And we talk to them. Right?
Or I always pitch this. What's cool is I pitched this as a TV show and 100 years ago, and it didn't work. But now I guess I'm kind of giving away. But also, here's another show we could do in addition to that one. It's a choice show. Let's say somebody wants to get a tattoo. We have them on. Okay. Then you have one person who has tattoos and one person who doesn't. And they debate whether that person should get it or not. So they hear on both sides. And you have it, I want to move in with my girlfriend. You have somebody who did and it didn't work out. You have somebody who did and it worked out perfect. So you see all different sides of perspective. Then we make that person decide on that show what they're going to do.
Yeah. All right.
Doing
So
the same thing the people in my meeting did.
what do we do?
think-
I think it's. I like it. In my brain, though, as you were talking, my brain drifted off to: is everyone going to have an avatar, or will we have people zoom in real time like we're doing with John? I think it's neat because it's almost like space ghosty that we're half avatar, half sort of real human. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of fun. You know what I mean? Because I'm enjoying watching you. I'm not like never once during this conversation have I been like, oh, I'm so sick of looking at avatars.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious watching you guys with what your hands are doing while you're talking. So I got like 3 different levels of the show going on.
Oh, there's my
Yeah.
Mr. Stretch
There's
Armstrong
that.
again.
How do you do
Hold
that?
on,
Alan?
hold on.
I don't know.
Let me hold on, Alan. Do that again, Alan.
I don't know how I did it, though. I just moved.
Just reaching for. Oh.
Okay.
I just moved and kind of stretched.
Hey, John, you want to see something really cool?
Okay.
Watch this. Alan, up top.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Did you see that?
Oh, what? Yes.
By the way, I
That's
just
awesome.
slapped the shit out of my television above
Yeah, I
me.
did too.
I had no idea.
I just hit the front of my monitor.
I was thinking, I was like, this is not going to end well.
Now watch me and
Oh my God.
watch me and Coble do it. Ready? Now watch this. Fist bump.
Oh. Okay, wait. There we
There
go.
it is. Yeah.
There we go.
It does the thing.
That's awesome.
So
Pretty cool.
right.
You know what else would be fun for you guys? Now I'm brainstorming a show. Is if you have homework assignments that we all, that, you guys have to come back with AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the beginning of this venture, this podcast, I told listeners that I wanted to come up with a whole new hour special that was written by AI.
Yeah.
And I've been putting out little segments here and there, little pieces here and there.
There've
So
been some
maybe
funny things.
there have been some really good ones. The last week I said, write me a comedy routine about Jon Reep celebrating Hanukkah in Hickory, North Carolina.
It did pretty good.
And there was some pretty good stuff in there.
John, let me ask you this though. You could be the first, but you'd like do it this week. You could voice actor, so you can't perform it, okay? Or so you come up with a bit. You then have your AI voice do it. So that's going to take some tweaking. We slap some laugh tracks underneath it. It's a 4-minute bit, and then we put it up on Spotify. We use TuneCore to release your single, and it'll be everywhere.
Oh, audio only.
And then put it out. And you can even get your album cover done that way. But it's not you performing it live.
Holy crap. That is what we have to do, Alan.
Is that the goal? That's the plan?
That's it.
Okay, got it.
Forget about performing it for real. Forget about performing it for real. I'll just come out with my own albums.
Forget about performing it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We just, and I will go to Fiverr. We'll get some kids from Indonesia to crank out like 20 hours of material for us.
Well, that, and we'll
Thank
just.
you, everybody. I've been Mr. John. Shit, I forgot to fix that part.
And, we can also do it. We can get laugh tracks, so it sounds like it's performed live in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Or, John, I'm going to add this here because now I'm so excited. Cobie can help. Create a bot, and we want to know 10 things that people are kind of what's in their head right now. Like really get it into the audience. What are their dreams? What are they scared of? Whatever. People can log in that info. That'll throw that to an Excel sheet. Then that's the AI that we write. And then when you put that out, people will be like, Jon Reep is like, he's in our head.
I can do
exactly.
that. I can do that lickety split. I can do that fast.
Well, that's your homework.
All right.
That you just volunteered for.
I can do a lot of things, but I mean, I don't
So are you guys in different? You guys, Alan, are you at your place? John, you're at your Home Alone home.
Yeah.
And then
Where are you?
Cool. I'm at my house. Yeah.
Oh, you're in your house.
Hey, John, I like that you called him Cobie. I want to call him Cobie from now on.
Coble, I'm sorry. With my glasses, I just
Cobie's
see that
great.
L.
Cobie Beef.
That's my nickname. That's my family nickname is Cobie. So it's
Cobie Beef Code. Alan, let's work on all this stuff. My headset battery is low, and my red light turned to a little bit of a yellow there for a minute.
All right.
It's okay.
So,
We've done about an hour.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is we're going to build a virtual reality comedy club.
Yes.
We're going to build a live virtual reality
podcast
counseling show, like a Maury Povich type show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put that towards the end. I'm more excited about John releasing 4 minutes of material on Apple to iTunes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we want to AI generate new material in Jon Reep's voice.
Yes.
That we're going to record as a new audio and release out. And
we're going to make a whole album.
Okay. But I think John was saying we should start with maybe like a 4 or 5 minute piece to start, right?
Dude, John, do you want to start doing some diss tracks against each other when we put them out as comedy?
Why don't we do that? Well, I'll come up with. I'll have AI generate a diss track, a comedy routine making fun of John Heffron in the style of Jon Reep, something like that. Make fun of this, and this. And
then John Heffron does one about you. Right?
Yeah. But at the end, just do a normal bit, and you kind of like I'm throw my name at you doing diss tracks, but you don't spend a lot of time on it.
Oh, so just more of a shout out at the end, dissing you, a diss shout out.
No, I pulled a John Heffron and I had the remote control in my pocket and I went to the airport. Just kind of say something.
Oh, just use your name
and then
somehow.
I'll do oh my God. So I was at dinner and then I pulled the Jon Reep where I'm like, I forgot my wallet. Can you guys just something that makes no sense?
Okay. Yeah. That's more safe. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise.
Just to see.
No, but I like this.
I think I got all this. Yes.
Go ahead, Alan.
No, I think I'm just making my punch list of what we want to do.
Can we,
Alan, I need you to sing "Such a Long Way to Go."
Such a long way to go, get you to the border of
Mexico.
That's awesome. All right, well, look, let's wrap this episode up. For John Heffron, for the Alan Jackson, for Cobie Beef Code. I am Jon Reep, and you have been listening to Absolute Ignorance. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
You demand Jon Reep.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.